Everything's good here, right? But this is good too.
Charged to Whitney Gabriel, his first personal foul, team foul number 1 for Kentucky.
Thank you, Flem, Joe Tessitore, Sean Farnham, Laura Rutledge with you here for intriguing back end to Super Tuesday. And a tough spot for Kentucky here at Arkansas, where the Hawks are 14-1 at home this year. Jalen Barford got the night started with a 3-ball. He's averaging 18.6 per game. Let's say hello to Laura.
Hey there, Joe. And Jalen Barford said it would be a dream come true to beat Kentucky tonight, something he's never done in his entire career here at Arkansas. Here in the trough, the student section, they're hoping to contribute. This quote was passed out to everybody here. It says, "You don't come here expecting to win. Let me tell you that, you just don't." It's from John Calipari. This student section, the rest of the fans, guys, hoping they factor in.
Well, they're loving that from Daryl Macon.
The timeout by Coach Cal. The first 2 possessions test. They got 2 offensive fouls. The first 2 possessions.
From the corner. And the rebound, Gabriel. Second chance, SGA. Arkansas starting 5 with the senior leadership in the backcourt and then the sensational freshman 6'11" Daniel Gafford in the middle.
Test last 3 games, averaging close to 18 points per contest as Gafford. It's made a huge difference for Arkansas.
Macon from the corner. Tracked down that time by Dustin Thomas.
Coach Cal,
here is Gafford. His first look on the inside, and he will draw the foul. They'll be charged on Nick Richards. 3 team fouls on Kentucky early on here.
And substitutions come into play because of a lack of effort. I mean, just watching Arkansas beat him to a 50-50 ball for an offensive rebound to regain an opportunity to score here.
Tommy Diallo takes a seat. Macon, long 3. Tapped around, and another second chance as Thomas secured the offensive rebound. And again tracking it down for Arkansas. Macon, money. What a start for the Razorbacks.
That was just great relocation. After he dumped the ball to the high post, he just spaced out.
Ilgis Alexander was off the mark. Tracked down by Beard.
This place is going to explode if they score here, Tess.
Right on the verge of it. Beard probing baseline, was locked up and then knocked away. It'll stay with Arkansas.
Well, with rebounding issues, Coach Cal goes to the bench and brings in Jared Vanderbilt, who this week he compared a little bit to Dennis Rodman in his ability to impact the game, rebounding the basketball.
Did a very good job on the glass against Alabama. Had 5 offensive rebounds in just 19 minutes this past Saturday. Barford rattled out. Look at Thomas hit the glass and the putback.
It's really hard to win on the road, Tess, against a really good team when you don't bring toughness. And in the early stages stages of this game, the Wildcats have not been up to the challenge.
Number 1 for Arkansas.
You go 2 possessions ago, they enter the ball into the high post, a relocation. See that little spacing out to the corner makes the run out a little bit longer. It freed up Macon, allowed him to knock it down. What a start for the Razorbacks.
0 for 5 shooting Kentucky. They've missed their 3 three-point attempts. Here's Knox. Tippin won't go as well. Barford on the run.
They made that one a little bit too hard.
Jay Washington now. Much needed. After they open up 11-0 does Arkansas. Kentucky on the board. Thomas couldn't connect. Up ahead, Knox. As he was fouled.
That's been the storyline, I think, all season long for the SEC test. It has been experienced teams.
Planning for Success is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
You look for Kentucky, composure with the crowd noise. They've not handled that or Arkansas's pressure well in the early stage of this game. Arkansas, meanwhile, has been the aggressive. They've got to be able to do it for a full 40, though, tonight.
Guys, Coach Cal in that Kentucky huddle saying that Nick Richards has got to do a better job of guarding Jalen Barford. He said he shouldn't be wide open for threes. He's going to make them. Also for Kentucky, saying we've had 3 wide open threes. We didn't make them, but you guys are fine. We need some of those shots to go in. I need you to stay consistent with that 3.
Coach Cal was really encouraging Nick Richards today at the shoot-around, saying, hey, you're going to have a big game, Nick. They want to talk about their big guy. How about we talk about you? Let's see if that comes to fruition. What a nice feed from Daniel Gafford. Another dimension from the Arkansas big man.
The back line of the defense stepped up, and nobody, in Tess, I mean nobody, was down low on the block.
Savoyan was able to finish there. And the feed from Washington to Vanderbilt for the Cats.
Basket by Jared Vanderbilt.
Inside Gafford. Got Vanderbilt to go up.
Gafford's size and his composure as a freshman, he's continued to develop throughout the course of the season, Tess.
He has been excellent lately.
I saw him back at the PK80 during Feast Week, and I thought he was good. But, you know, there were some question marks of consistency and understanding philosophically what Mike Anderson wants to do, and that has all changed in the second half of the SEC.
5 straight games scoring in double figures, and during that stretch, shooting over 70%. Thompson puts it down.
Do you see the difference in quality of shot? I mean, that is a wide open free throw line extended jump shot for Thompson. Kentucky's got to do a better job reacting, rotating, and closing out.
Quade Green, as he's able to connect. He played well in the skid-snapping win against Alabama. And no turnovers in 31 minutes of action. Set the pace offensively in the first half. Finished with 12 points. A couple three-pointers. Had 4 assists this weekend. From the corner. Short rim that time, Jones, but Thompson cleans things up. He has 4 points.
That's 5 offensive rebounds already in this game for Arkansas. And it's 7 second chance points. Look at this, watch the drive. The defense completely collapses. Nobody even sprints to close out. Nobody puts a hand up. Mike Anderson knows that's a really good look for his team. And then his last possession, where's the box out? Who's putting a body on Trey Thompson? Back-to-back possessions, nobody even touches him.
Look at the offensive rebounds for Arkansas already tonight. 7-second chance points for the Hogs. There's Alexander probing and then picks up his dribble. And Knox took a step.
Well, right now, Kentucky's just pressing, Tess. And this becomes an issue at times for Kentucky. You're trailing early. Do you try to do too much on your own, or do you trust the offense in the flow? Can you give the ball up and know that you're going to get it back, or do you look to play isolation one-on-one basketball? And for Coach Cal's team, when they play on an island, they start to struggle, and it starts to impact this end of the floor as well.
Saboyan lost the handle.
Great hands by Washington.
Here's Diallo. Pushed off as he was trying to make his way through the paint. And that is 2 on Hami.
Hami Diallo came back this year after testing the waters in the NBA, and the expectations were so high for the redshirt freshman. And he just tries to do too much, and that goes back to what I was just alluding to. He works as hard as anybody on this roster. We show up, he's the last guy to leave the gym consistently. He's always putting in extra work. But you got to let the game just come to you. With his athleticism, his ability to spin off the defensive player, explode to the iron, finish. He doesn't need to push off. Coach Cal still talking to him.
Green for 3.
That's good ball for Kentucky, and Quade Green, 6 of the 8, or 6 of the 11, excuse me, for the Cats.
All through the lane. And Vanderbilt with a nice rebound. And then Hall was in his way. Crowd didn't like that, as they saw Vanderbilt skying up over Hall.
Hall goes in for the layup and tries to come back and just gets right underneath Jared Vanderbilt. Well, they can boo. I mean, he backed into the rebound. That's a foul.
Knox on the go after beating the pressure. Vanderbilt with the easy cleanup. And all of a sudden, this is just a 4-point margin as Kentucky has settled in. And a turnover. Nope. Hogs get it back. Thompson over to Jones. Into the hands of Quade Green.
Quade Green is playing really well right now for Kentucky.
Vanderbilt lost control but was fouled on the floor. Good comeback by the Cats.
Yeah, they have calmed down ever so slightly, but sometimes you just need to play with some toys to figure out exactly how to get the ball up and down the floor. And when they're able to execute, we saw that early in this game, it's really dangerous.
How about that? Now a 10-2 run for Kentucky as they close to 2. Laura.
Well, Joe, Mike Anderson not happy with some of the long threes this Arkansas team has attempted. He said, why are we taking 40-foot shots when we have wide open jump shots? He wants to see him get a little closer to the rim.
Laura, to that point, they started 3 for 6 shooting from 3, 0 for 4 since then. And Knox was fouled that time, and Kentucky has closed to just 2.
So much better have the Kentucky Wildcats been in the last 3 minutes of this game. And it starts where, Tess? It starts at the defensive end of the floor. The guys off the bench have continued to step up, 14 of the 15 points. And it starts with Quade Green. 6 points for him. Vanderbilt with 2 offensive rebounds that he's put back in and found the dunk.
Washington. Richards trying to get that second chance, and they will as Green rotates. Knox well off the mark that time. Wednesday, we've got an ACC Sonic Blockbuster doubleheader. First, number 10 North Carolina and Syracuse from the Dome at 7 Eastern. And then from Cameron Indoors, Louisville taking on number 5 Duke.
And Marvin Bagley still day-to-day with that minor left knee sprain.
Carter Jr. has a double-double since last 11 games. Shot fake, Barford. Up and in.
That's a three-pointer Mike Anderson's going to like. A little shot fake, step over to the right, clear out space, and get a clean look.
This time Knox knocks it down.
You see the ball movement, though, for Kentucky, how different it is than it was earlier in the game. Earlier in the game, they're looking to drive that into traffic.
Good feed from Macon, but defensively, P.J. Washington goes up against 6'11" Gafford. And on the other end, Cats get it done. And we are tied up at 20. Quad Day Green. Barford, step back. Cook taps it, Washington secures it.
Much better defense for Kentucky. Your ability to get stops, and early in this game, Arkansas had everything they wanted. Kentucky wasn't challenging. That was, by the way, that was all wrist. But nevertheless, the officials miss it. Quade Green, who's off to a great start, 3 for 3. He's got 8 points. Able to get open in transition and finish.
Fouls on Nick Richards. He's shooting 1-1, Will Gafford.
Now, this has been an area where Daniel Gafford has struggled on the season, but tests in the last 2 games, he's 69% from the free throw line. On the year, just 53.
For the year. Sensational freshman from El Dorado, Arkansas. Among freshmen nationally, he's 4th in the country in field goal percentage.
He's been freshman of the week 3 times this year. No other freshman in the conference can say that.
On Arkansas history, only Bobby Portis and Patrick Beverly are the other Razorbacks to do that, Sean.
Those 2 guys are making some money right now.
Yeah, well, Daniel Gafford is going to be on that path. I was looking at the ESPN.com NBA mock draft today. They had him up to number 15. This is a guy that no one was thinking of as a one-and-done just earlier. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, baseline, and puts it through. His first bucket of the night. Inside, Gafford, and he draws the foul.
Well, what happens there is when you're able to post up, Tess, with 2 feet in the middle of the paint, your palm showing to the guard, you're really at the mercy of the offensive player.
2 on Wenyen Gabriel.
Gafford confident at the line, but look at, see, he's got 2 feet deep in the paint. When he gets his feet down there, you're playing from behind, elbows in the back. Easy call for the official.
It's a young man who was 6'7" as a 7th grader, a musician in the church choir, and coaches spotted him, convinced him to play some hoops by the 8th grade. Stayed with the music, though.
Who plays more instruments? Daniel Gafford or Laura Rutledge?
That's a good point.
That's the question that I have.
Well, Gafford goes with the drums. He also plays the clarinet, still active in music with the church choir. I know, Laura, you're a big fan of the hammer dulcimer, right?
The string dulcimer.
Oh, of course, the string dulcimer.
Let's get it right. Yeah, dulcimer, piano,
the Appalachian
violin.
Dulcimer, right?
Yeah, there we go. A little bit of drums myself, but I think I'm not quite as good as him.
Barford, how about it from Jalen Barford, who leads the SEC in scoring average in conference games. He has 8 in this first half. Tap in will go. Vanderbilt with the effort play.
Tess, you mentioned how solid he was on the offensive glass last time out. He's at it once again. That's 3 offensive rebounds, and he has put them all back in for points.
He was critical in that win that they had to have against Alabama. Snapped that losing streak. They had lost 4 straight.
Look at the bounce from Macon. He let that thing go, and he's just feeling it, Tess.
9 points, long balls tonight for Daryl Macon.
Tess, the best scoring tandem in the SEC is at it once again. The SEC leading scorer.
Arkansas, Kentucky got back into this game with good support from the bench. 18 points from the bench. Green with 8, Vanderbilt with 6, Washington with 4. Macon has had the hot hand. Here, 17-footer won't go. Fought for it, and Kentucky comes up with it. Wade Green on the go now.
I didn't like that shot at all. That was a contested, difficult 2. You can get that shot at any point in time in a possession. But if you're Arkansas, that's what Mike Anderson's talking about. Turn that shot down and find an opening.
It's been interesting to see Gilgeous-Alexander and Green in together recently. Knocks the miss. Second chance here for the Cats. As Washington trapped. And which way will it go? The other way. Hogs ball. Look on Cal's face says it all.
Tess, you knew this environment was going to be electric tonight. Bud Walton Arena, when it's packed like this, is one of the most special environments in the SEC.
And he was trying to explain it to this young team today at the shoot-around.
The home environment for Arkansas and the level of success in which they had, Tess, you brought it up right away. They are 14-1 this season inside this building.
Look at my man in the pajamas. How can you not be with that kind of support, Farnham? 6 sellout this season. 19,200 here tonight to see the Hawks.
I bought those pajamas earlier today. I bought them for you.
You'd go with the one-piece footsies, knowing you.
I bought it for you, Tess. I know you're a big one. Onesie. Look at it. And the hat. I got the hat for Laura. I got you the pajamas.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, and you look at the difference between the two. And that thus is life in the SEC this year. It is difficult to go on the road and find wins because of how strong this conference is. But you have to protect home court advantage. You have to protect your court. You have to be able to energize your base and make sure you're getting out of here with wins.
Double bonus for the Hogs. Remind you, you can tip off your weekend with star-studded NBA Friday doubleheader at 8 Eastern. Karl Anthony Towns and the Wolves are in Houston. And then it's the Mavs and the Lakers. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7. Lakers in a unique spot. You got Lonzo Ball's return from the knee injury, and you've got this version of the recently traded for Isaiah Thomas.
It is a weird dynamic because you have 2 guards, one that inherently wants to pass it, and the other one that needs the ball in his hands and wants to prove to everybody he can score again.
Steps. Turnover. Laura.
Well, Joe, Coach Cal in his last huddle was saying when number 1, Trey Thompson for Arkansas, checks back in, you got to pay attention to him. You guys noticed that early on in this game, Kentucky not giving him enough attention. Look for them now to maybe approach him differently.
Thompson has 4 points. He's also a very good passing big man, as we have seen through the years.
Really good job by Vanderbilt fronting the post.
Here he is through the lane, and Gafford is fouled. He will head to the line. That is 2 on Jarrett Vanderbilt.
At the line for Arkansas with
I mean, sometimes you just miss a shot so poorly that the defense isn't expecting it, and that's exactly what happened on that possession. And to Gafford's credit, he was in the right spot.
Busy night from the stripe for Gafford.
He's 5 of 8 from the free throw line already, Tess. He's the only player on the Hogs to actually attempt a free throw in this game.
Those are all 5 of his points so far.
And the attempts are great, but what does that also do to Kentucky? Well, it puts guys like Vanderbilt down on the bench. Washington, you get those fouls early. Richards has got 2 fouls. Gabriel's got 2 fouls. They do such a good job rotating the zone.
Rade Green tried to skip it over, but went right into the hands of Thompson. Beard on the head. 6-point lead for Arkansas. Gilgeous-Alexander, runner, too much, but there to finish was Kalia Jones. Long rebound into the hands of Knox on the run, trying to spin past Barford. Barford slipped down, slow to get up. Knox takes advantage.
That entire possession, you look at Barford, that's a quick shot from 3. They didn't need it.
He'll stay with Arkansas.
And when you take a quick 3 and it's a long rebound, you've got a numbers situation. Then once he slipped and fell, a great job by Knox to space out and get the clean look from the corner.
Knox has 2 3-pointers in this first half. And Arkansas jumped out 11-zip to open this game. Gafford got himself in trouble there, and then the foul be charged on Trey Thompson.
Really good job rotation-wise by Kevin Knox to jump into that passing lane.
This will be a 1-and-1. Gafford will take a seat.
I think if you're Kentucky, the way this game started, you're actually ecstatic right now.
Absolutely. For a young group that has been so fickle. I mean, so many of these games this year with Kentucky where they're really on the learn and figuring things out. But to bounce back and settle down in a road environment like this has been impressive.
20 of the 32 points have come off the bench.
As Knox gives Kentucky their first lead of the night. Rattles out for Jones. Rebound by Washington.
If you're Kentucky here, one of the things I'd look for is Washington down low on the block. Let's see if you can get him. You're looking at him right at that time, and Kevin Knox wants the ball back because he wants to get him. He's got a mismatch.
See if he can get the entry. There is Washington. They double him out to Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Knox for 3. Long rebounds and secured by Thomas. Make it on the drive, fouled as he went up. This gives us a chance to check in with everybody's favorite cinephile, Adnan Virk.
Going to break and not coming right back to me, but that's a whole nother issue. But Coach, that's the question for Kentucky, right? Is sustainability. Can they bring this effort for a full 40 minutes? You know, they came out flat, and sometimes their offense test when it starts to struggle, and there's going to be a period of time in the second half where their offense struggles. Will it impact their defense? Will it impact the ability to rebound the basketball and finish off possessions?
Macon gives Arkansas the lead back after Kentucky took it on a 7-0 run for their first lead of the day. There's the Kentucky resume as it stands, Sean.
The quality of wins, not necessarily what you're accustomed to see for Kentucky, but that is in large part because of the strength of this conference.
When you talk about this conference, keep in mind the SEC has 11 teams ranked in the top 75 of RPI, 13 teams in the top 60 in strength of schedule. That is first among conferences.
And that's why we got that you look at it, the catchphrase that you're going to hear a lot of between now and the Selection Sunday. Quadrant 1, Quadrant 2 victories. And nobody has more than the SEC.
And Beard puts down a 3. Well, he is the other part of the senior backcourt leadership. You know all about Barford and Macon. Leah Jones unable to get it to go. Here's Macon on the go. Through the lane and denied at the rim.
For Arkansas, number 20, Darius Hall. Replacing Carol Macon. And for Kentucky, number 4.
Macon came in last year as a JUCO transfer. He has been sensational this season.
Coach Cal just puts his hands to his side because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't even contest the shot even though he was standing right there.
Too much muscle from Quade Green. He's feeling it.
A little too much.
Not bashful at all after hitting a couple. Final minute and a half of what's been a greatly entertaining first half with the Kentucky comeback, and now the Arkansas hot hands. A lot of contact that time as Nick Richards went up for the U.
And that was a wonderful pressure release by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And because he back cut, he was able to find Nick Richards. And the defense had to step off the big fella.
Foul charge to Trey Thompson. Richards shooting 1-1. As Gafford will check back in, Thompson will take a seat.
Also, number 22, Campbell Savoy, replacing Dustin Thomas.
Kansas and Texas Tech could determine the Big 12 regular season title on Saturday. That's the Saturday primetime presented by AT&T. And then Duke hosting Syracuse. Saturday Showcase presented by 5-Hour Energy.
I am so excited for that Texas Tech-Kansas game. When you think about how the Red Raiders have put themselves.
Hall got a slap at it. Kentucky got it back. Richards. And underneath, a really nice job by P.J. Washington.
The points in the paint have been key for Kentucky.
Washington has 8. Shot fake. Hall gives it to the corner. Jones. And the rebound, and now on the go is Knox. Able to finish with that move and the right hand. And that is 11 points for Kevin Knox.
And plus 10 in the paint right now for Kentucky over Arkansas.
40-40. Timeout for Arkansas. Leads them in total rebounds and three-pointers made. Of course, had that memorable game in the comeback against West Virginia when he put in 34.
That was just silly.
Down by 17 on that night. That was sloppy. Washington secures it, and then on the go, finishes and the foul!
Well, if you're going to foul there, you better foul hard enough to make sure he's not able to extend up and get the easy finish.
Well, it's 6'7", 236 against Macon. He's going to.
Well, just reaching out and trying to tap the ball, that's not good enough by Macon.
He's going to go right through that.
Think about this. Kentucky was down 11-0 to start this game.
And then all of a sudden they roar back, had that 7-0 run to take their first lead in a first half that after a team had an 11-zip lead has been tied 5 times and 5 lead changes. Macon, cross it over, put it through. How about it, Daryl Macon?
Oh, he just sat him down and stole him.
You mentioned Kentucky defending against the 3. They have not allowed 10-plus threes in any SEC game this year. Arkansas has 8 right now. They also haven't allowed a team to shoot over 40% from 3. Gaffney couldn't get it to drop, tried to track it down. Arkansas is shooting over 42% from 3 right now. Let's check in with Laura.
Well, Joe Tess, Mike Anderson at halftime saying they've got to rebound to get this game going up and down the court. That favors how they want to play and their pace a little bit more. Also saying may stick with the starters a little bit longer. Not as happy with the bench production.
Kentucky with a +6 advantage in rebounding, and they trailed in rebounding 6-1 early on. Well off the mark that time. Short corner. But back in the hands of Gilgeous-Alexander, who takes it on the drive and is fouled.
Look at the final 16.5 minutes of the first half. And Kentucky, 57% shooting, much of that coming from the bench, and then their domination inside. They are +12 in the paint. And a good start for them on their opening possession. I love the fact that they were able to get the offensive rebound, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't settle. And he's not worried about the length. He's not worried about the shot blocking underneath. Instead, drives right in the lane and gets the foul, knocks down 2 free throws.
He has 6 points tonight. Stafford picked up his second on the night. There's Macon matched up with Washington. Put it a little too low at the feet of the 6'11" Gafford, who then secures it. And Barford came flying in there.
The first 2 possessions of Tess haven't been great for Arkansas.
3 on Richards.
He had Gafford on the first one, get a good deep post position, and then just throw it over the top of the iron. And that time out of control, didn't handle the pass very well at all.
So Barford goes to the line. He's the only player in the SEC who ranks in the top 5 in 3-point field goal percentage, points per game, field goal percentage.
It's a weird year in the SEC too, as far as who's the conference player of the year.
It's a good question.
I mean, by now you've kind of always had a really good idea of who it's going to be. Deontay Maton might deserve it as much as anybody in the conference. His numbers are outstanding. But you can throw Barford, Macon, Grant Williams has struggled a little bit as of late.
Good feed inside and the foul as Kevin Knox will head to the line.
All right, this is great offense by Kentucky. A little back screen by Washington, and what made it great was the cut. The hard, quick cut by Kevin Knox. He changed speeds. Lull you to sleep, and then put on the afterburners to get to the spot. It's like being a wide receiver in football, Tess. You know, Jerry Rice wasn't necessarily the quickest guy off the line of scrimmage, but he knew exactly where he wanted to be, and then he would change pace and get to that spot.
a dunker. He has more dunks than 4 SEC teams have totaled. His 55th of the year.
His length, his size, and obviously a point of emphasis coming out of the break. Remember, Laura told us in the first half about the long shots that Arkansas was attempting. Here we go to the start of the second half, and it's about getting the ball inside to Gafford. Mike Anderson's team listening to the halftime talk.
If you've been watching Steady Ascent in the midst of the conference season, Gafford, you have been impressed. He just keeps getting better and better. Extra pass that time. Nearly bounced back in off the deflection. Into the hands of Barford, over to Macon and through the lane. And he will head to the strike.
Well, you know what's happening. As soon as they get the ball, they get out in transition, and they're looking for a seam. Macon so smooth. Soft touch. And the swipe down from Quade Green. The same thing I said earlier, though, about Macon is if you're going to foul there, you've got to foul hard enough so that they cannot get to the rim.
And he's already at his season average. 17 points tonight for Daryl Macon. And look at what they have combined for.
Well, Tesson, think about this with Macon. 8 out of the last 9 games, he's broken the 20-point barrier. He's well on his way to do it again tonight.
Just had 20 this past weekend against A&M. Knox puts it through. He has 16 himself, Sean.
He's going to get over 20 as well. How smooth is that release?
See if they can feed Gafford here. They've given it a look. Sees me battling side to side underneath with P.J. Washington.
They're going to get Washington with the foul as he's trying to stay in front. I thought it was pretty good defense by P.J. Washington, to be honest with you, Tess.
Green right behind Beard. Was swatted away by Gafford. Washington denied on the follow. And then he earns it when they feed him. As Washington can't believe it. Look at this defensively.
Well, that was a spike off the backboard, and then he comes right back into the play and blocks P.J. Washington. He was on SportsCenter last week. Top 10 play. He got the block at one end and then did the monster windmill at the other one. I just thought to myself, if that happens when we get to Fayetteville, Tess would throw the headset down on the table, run around like an N1 mixtape out of the floor.
I would have needed oxygen. That was unbelievable what he did last week, and defensively, he just put on a show. All tied up. Been a fun night here in Fayetteville. Thomas, 17-footer, puts it right down.
Look at the space, though, again. Nobody around him, Tess, as he curled off to the elbow.
Gabriel on the finish from SGA.
They caught Arkansas sleeping on the back line right there. Nice job. Gabriel moving without the basketball to put himself in that position.
Tied up again. 9th tie of the night. Turnover into the hands of Hami Diallo.
Remember in the first half, he picked up the offensive foul? He changed his angle ever so slightly that time, and because of the angle change and getting back towards the middle portion of the floor, Thomas wasn't set.
And for Thomas, that is his 4th.
Into the game for Arkansas, number 22, Gabe Osamoya, replacing Dustin Thomas.
ACC Sonic Blockbuster doubleheader comes your way Wednesday. Number 10 North Carolina and Syracuse at 7 Eastern, and then from Cameron Indoor, it's Louisville taking on Duke. North Carolina looking for their 6th straight win against Syracuse. They have won 6 straight overall right now. Beard on the curl, the runner.
Anton Beard.
One of the things Arkansas does well offensively, they just space you out, test. They create seams and driving lanes.
Double digits for Anton Beard.
If you're hugging your man defensively and you're guarding Arkansas, you're going to give up space. And when you give up space, you're giving up points.
Knox off the glass, follow, wouldn't go. Up ahead, Macon. Pinned by Knox, count it. Goaltending. 19 points now for Daryl Macon. Changes that much. We won those games. It's not like it never happened.
Well, it's been erased, and the banner will come down. I'm not a big vacate wins guy. Okay, take, for example, my freshman year at UCLA. We lost to Bobby Jackson's Minnesota team that goes on to the Final Four. They later vacated that Final Four appearance. Well, I didn't turn in my Pac-10 championship ring, an Elite 8 ring, and
Pretty sure you were there.
and get a Final Four ring because we didn't get there. We lost in the Elite 8. It doesn't change what happened out on the floor.
The season happened.
Kind of looks like both teams may be in the one.
Michigan doesn't get a national championship.
Trap in the half court, nearly took it from Gilgeous Alexander.
I saw one of the best tweets of the day, though, said UCF is now playing the national championship.
There's going to be a parade in the Magic Kingdom.
Pick and roll, Gabriel lobs it low.
A little oop for
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. And once again, we're tied.
Right now, Arkansas is having problems on their back line and their defense. They're doing a great job pressuring out of the ball, but because they're swarming, their rotations are a little bit slow on the back line. That's allowing Kentucky to throw it to the rim.
Kentucky is so long. Wenyon Gabriel on the
Gabriel
drive.
drives, blocked by Barford. Kentucky
there.
had it, lost it on the floor. Whistles blow. The arrow's going to point to
Test at
Kentucky,
halftime.
I think.
I'm walking in the back
So
here
they're gonna keep
at
the
Bud
ball
Walton Arena.
at the
A couple
14-30
guys are sitting there talking. They said, you know what?
56.
We were up 11-0. I thought we were going to have fun all night long. And the other guy said, no chance. Look at Kentucky. Everybody they bring off their bench is 6'11". They might be exaggerating a little bit, but the length of this team still exists, and that's one of the talking points we've had since the beginning of the year.
He really likes to have him out there.
It should benefit them on the glass. It should benefit them in the
Diallo will
paint.
be the trigger man off the baseline.
So far tonight,
21
they're
to
plus
shoot for
9
Kentucky.
in rebounds,
Tied at
and they're
56.
plus
Gabriel off the inbound.
13 in
Here's
the
it
paint.
back out front.
Excuse me, 23 in the paint.
Bucks
Math was never my
zoning
strong
off the
point.
inbound. 13 to
Good
shoot
enough.
for the Wildcats. Gilgeous Alexander dribbles out high away to Gabriel. They've got a mismatch with him on Beard.
Knox for the lead.
Three-pointer no good. Thompson with a rebound.
Slapped
for Arkansas.
away by
Stolen
Diallo.
by Diallo. Diallo in the
And then
paint for
feeds
Vanderbilt. Blocked by
underneath,
Trey.
and Thompson
Asaboyan out of
denies.
there with it. Ahead to Macon.
Macon
pull up
now.
three. Right wing short. No
And he
good.
had Gilgeous
Rebound
Alexander
chased down
right
by
in
the
his
Wildcats.
face.
That is
Macon
such a
feeling little
poor
too
shot
much
though by
there.
Macon.
Really
Still
was,
tied
wasn't
at
it?
56
It's a
with
tie
13:50
game. You
to
just
go.
had two great blocks at the defensive end of the floor. Value the possession.
Double team Alexander out
Gabriel.
high. And he gives it to Gabriel.
Kicks
They
out.
reverse it in the
Diallo.
corner. Diallo's alone for three. Air ball, no good. Thompson comes out of there with a
Here
rebound.
comes Beard up
Beard
ahead.
to
Macon.
Macon to the basket.
And he will
Lays it in. And the Hawks are back up by
What a
two.
night for
In
Macon.
transition, Macon with a bucket.
14, 20-plus
58-56 with
point game this
13:25
year.
to go.
17th in
Anderson
his
explores
career.
his team to play defense. Gilgeous Alexander drives off a screen, missed the shot, ball
Beard
won't
again.
go. Beard out of there
Macon
with it.
fanning out.
Anton,
Beard's
pull up,
gonna
three,
take it.
good!
And put it right through.
Beard from the top of the circle, the Hawks are
Beard.
at 5. John Calipari wants a
in
timeout.
Fayetteville.
The Razorbacks on a little mini run, 5-0. Kentucky gonna call the timeout. Now they say no timeout. Gilgeous Alexander nearly lost it. Kick out Gabriel, three-pointer
Gabriel
good.
responds.
Cal tried to
Cal
call the
originally said he
timeout.
wanted a
Then they
timeout.
had
That's why you
numbers, and he
saw
said, no, don't
Shea
call it.
Gilgeous-Alexander stop
Smart
and
play
look to
by
Cal.
Cal, and the Hogs
There was
looked
some
like they were getting
confusion.
ready
That
for
confusion
timeout.
might have helped
You
open
can't
up
do
the
that.
offense for Wenyen
You gotta
Gabriel.
play through the whistle.
61-59. Beer right at the key, trying to give it out front
Confusion
to
that
Hall,
time,
and he threw it
as
away.
he was thinking
Hall broke
that
to the
Hall
bucket.
was cutting back
Beer
up
threw it
for
behind
relief.
him out of bounds. Barford's back in for Macon.
3-pointers for Macon. Knox, and we are tied up again.
Kevin Knox just continues to put himself in a great position. Good, really strong start to the second half for Kevin Knox.
Saboyan, the spin, Gabriel right there with him. Knox pushing now. And off the glass. And a 20-point night for Kevin Knox. And a 2-point lead for the Cats.
And he's got 9 in the first 8 minutes here in the second half. Kevin Knox.
SEC has 6 teams in the RPI top 25. That's first among conferences. I think it's going to be fascinating just to see how things play out with the SEC tournament. Who knows how the seeding could go there. Remember, South Carolina just upset Auburn, and Auburn lost McLemore for the season. So now they're injured. Quade Green on the other end for Kentucky.
And that's going to be a foul on Nick Richards. So the basket will be good, but Richards with the forearm. It's now a 9-0 run for the Cats. Arkansas needs the timeout again to figure it out. 4 straight.
Still emphasizing the rebounds and singling out his guards, saying, I need you guys to get offensive rebounds, and telling his team defensively, no easy shots for them, telling them we need multiple stops, but take it one stop at a time.
Kentucky's +2 on the offensive glass tonight. Thompson feeds it in, and underneath is Gafford. Gafford with 9 points tonight, 4 rebounds, and a couple of great blocks earlier in this half. Washington against Hall. Barford tries to double, out to Gilgeous-Alexander for 3. Macon in the lane, and his hot hand continues.
Every single time Kentucky scores, Macon has been able to come back down and kind of reestablish the offensive flow for Arkansas. They've got to start stringing together some stops, though, Tess. First half, beginning of this game, they were flying around defensively. They're not. Remember one of the keys I said, they got to play for a full 40. Right now, they've taken some possessions off. They haven't been nearly as active as they've been earlier.
Washington's pass deflected, shot clock down to 3. And in from SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander hits double digits, and maintaining a 5-point lead is Kentucky. Into Gafford, denied by Vanderbilt, and he chases it down. And he was fouled by Thompson, and he's going to be walking.
Just a great job by Jared Vanderbilt. Hustling, making plays, his energy. He's just looking so much more comfortable than he was a couple of weeks ago when he returned to the court and he was forcing the action. Now I think he's really established who he is. He's a very good rebounder. He's opportunistic at the offensive end of the floor. He's got 8 and 6 tonight, Tess.
Good, consistent effort. We're looking for that balance on the offensive side.
In the game for Arkansas, Anton Beer.
His first 17 games of the year with that left foot injury with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. Look at him work the glass.
Just great energy. He sets the screen on the play against the zone. He screens the middle of the zone, and that allows Washington to step right over the top of him and get a good, clean look. And then he was so aggressive on his screen that he actually put Arkansas underneath the rim. No opportunity to get a rebound when you're standing underneath the iron.
Reminder that Sports Center will be coming your way after we finish things up. Anthony Davis on what might have been the Melrose will have special guests Ovechkin and Mike Gundy. Do we have a mullet-themed Levy's Lounge tonight?
I like that.
It's coming up next on Sports Center.
There's something outside the box.
Alex Ovechkin and Mike Gundy on the same show? I would say so. Largest lead of the night for Kentucky. Barford turns around. Back rim tapped by Gafford out, and it'll be Kentucky ball.
That was really good on-ball defense by Kevin Knox. Barford got off to a really hot start, Tess, but he is just now 3 of 11 shooting, 3 of 12 shooting on the game.
Had a couple of threes early on.
The length of Kentucky's bothering him.
Understandable. Crowd looking for a stop here and a little momentum for their Hogs. Knocked away, and it'll stay with Big Blue.
Jonas Alexander stepped right into the corner. Nobody was there.
Here he is over Gafford. Aiken got a little sloppy as he crossed over, and possession arrow is going to be with Arkansas.
Possession Arkansas.
Just get a sense right now, Arkansas has lost its flow offensively, Tess. I mean, even that possession there, open floor where usually Macon is really at his best. A little bit too aggressive on the drive, going a little bit too fast, gets himself out of control, and then ends up losing it and making it a jump ball. A lot of times they're going to look for a three-point shot off of this. You're going to see Justin Thomas released to the elbow area. He catches the ball right there, a little handoff. Good job defensively, not a lot of movement that time for Arkansas.
Beard splitting defenders and then lost the ball, and it came off of him. Getting a little restless here at Bud Walton Arena.
For as loud as this building was in the first half, it has gotten very quiet here in the second.
And for Mike Anderson, that Razorback Cardinal colored blazer is off. Time to get to work defensively for Arkansas, but this Kentucky team has impressed. Good feed from Knox. Denial. Gafford fighting for the ball, and it'll stay on this end. Kentucky enjoying a 7-point margin in a tough place to play. Here's Quade Green. Just rattles out. Nice tap out. It was Knox who did it, and now Knox who puts it down. He earned it every which way, and Kentucky has their largest lead of the night. They stretch it to 10.
Tess, listen how quiet this building is.
Well, a 21-point swing will do that. Gilgeous-Alexander. How about more from Kentucky? 14 points for Shea.
Everything that went right in the early stages of the game for Arkansas, and as well as they were playing, Tess, right now, that's what Kentucky's doing.
And Knox with a defensive rebound off the Gafford miss.
They're not giving up offensive rebounds. Offensively, they're being patient. They're finding good quality shots.
Laura?
Well, guys, we just saw Kevin Knox do this on that defensive rebound, but one of the emphasis in the huddle from Coach Cal was two-handed rebounds, specifically to Kevin Knox, saying don't lose your intensity down the stretch here. Wants to see this entire team rebound, but specifically singling out Knox with the two hands on the rebounds.
Well, right now he's got 6 rebounds, Laura, to go with those 23 points, and Kentucky overall plus 13 on the glass. They have done an outstanding job limiting those second chance looks that came early and often. They had 5 offensive rebounds and 7 second chance points in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Arkansas hasn't scored in the last 4+ minutes. Macon with a chance to help that cause.
And you got plenty of time if you're Arkansas here. You don't need to panic. This is a great opportunity for you to kind of find your rhythm once again at the offensive end of the floor. But to me, it goes back to the defensive end. And that's what makes Arkansas so good in this building. And they defend. They usually make their opponents uncomfortable. But right now, we talked about this in the first half when we were playing with the toys on the sideline. And Mike Anderson, the disruption factor. Right now, Arkansas is not disrupting Kentucky in what they want to do.
And said it was Kentucky toying with Arkansas, that 10-0 run that they just had. A place where these fans usually haven't had looks like this. 14-1 at home this year in Arkansas. And 3 of their better wins came at home against ranked teams at the time. Number 14 Minnesota, they had that one here. Beat Tennessee here in overtime. And then beat up A&M pretty solid this weekend.
It looked like it could be a steal opportunity. Instead, it's going to be free throws for Kentucky.
Kentucky and the bonus.
It's 3 on Beard.
Line shooting 1 and 1 is Quentin Green.
One of the big reasons for Arkansas' struggles here in the second half, too, Tess, is you mentioned it. Kentucky hasn't given up 10 made three-pointers in a single game this season. They gave up 8 in the first half. Arkansas only has 1 so far this half.
Cal was a believer. You know, they lost the 4 straight, and then they came back and had the win. He says, hey, my team's getting better, and that's all I can ask. So they can tell that they're trying to get into a rhythm, and they're finding it. Boy, did they find it after that slow start early tonight. They roared back after being down 11-zip. Gafford, as that was deflected away for a moment.
Even on that one, Gafford has such a size advantage. It should be a dunk. It shouldn't be, all right, it's still Arkansas's ball and you got to work it. That should have been a dunk.
Tried to leave it for Gafford that time. And now Vanderbilt's running. Leaves it for Green. Vanderbilt right there. And Kentucky still with it as Green came away with it. 17-10 edge in offensive rebounds. See how good they've been in the second half, hitting the glass. Green. Vanderbilt again. Mike Anderson is wired for us.
Listen up. We're back to playing how we used to play, trying to win with offense. And we ain't playing no defense down there, then. It's amazing how they can do anything they want to. We're playing one-on-one basketball now. Now, are you tired? I'll get you out of here. Now, let's settle down now.
It's amazing how they can do anything they want to, he says.
Tess, that's exactly what I was just talking about. If they want to get back in the game, they got to reestablish their will and their ability to disrupt at the defensive end. They have not done that at all here in the second half.
And this was, coming into tonight, the hottest team in the SEC.
Well, this is the SEC this year, though, right?
Sure is. A league that has everyone bunched up. 9 teams within 2 games of each other.
Well, and the pivotal part of this is trying to make sure you get a top 4 seed. Gives you that bye all the way through to Friday, quarterfinals. In St. Louis this year. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to miss Nashville.
Well, St. Louis will put on a good show, Sean. I assure you of that. Making good body control as he went up and was fouled. Check in with Laura.
Well, guys, one of the things that this Razorbacks team had talked about coming into this game, Jalen Barford said this would be a dream come true to beat Kentucky, something he and Daryl Macon have never done during their time here at Arkansas. This one means so much to them. They called it a special rivalry and said they were so excited about the confidence they were coming into this game with because they feel like they have a big chance against this Kentucky team.
Of course, last year we were all down in Nashville when it was this Arkansas team being taken down by Kentucky in the SEC tournament, and that game got really chippy
and Moses
in the
Kingsley,
final minute and a half.
Moses Kingsley ends up getting ejected out of the game. Dusty Hannes
taking baseline, reverse denial. Four and a half to play. 13-point lead, 24-point swing for Kentucky. Good drive that time by Gilgeous-Alexander. Moment of hesitation, and then the acceleration. He has 16.
Earlier in the game, though, Tess, their help side rotations there. They're plugging that hole. Right now, they're not. They're slow. They're a step slow in their rotations, and when you're a step slow, you give up 2.
Incredible the way Kentucky just roared back and took on the challenge here on the road. Green from the corner, trying to play beat the clock that time. Up ahead, Barford. Put away by Gabriel.
No! Yeah, you did. Shut up.
Arkansas is 0 for their last 5. They haven't made a field goal in over 6 minutes. Macon's looking for contact there.
And the people are starting to walk out of the building here at Bud Walton.
Understandable, man. What the Cats were able to do here in this second half. You know, there have been a few times this year, Sean. I remember what people were saying after the comeback against West Virginia, a few other times, that, all right, is that the one where Kentucky gets it, where it all gels, where they've grown up and they know who they are? Knox long ball, back of the neck there. And time again, we've seen the inconsistencies, but it's about getting right at the right time when March is coming upon us. Where are they in your eyes?
I'm not ready to say that they're there yet, because they've lacked that consistency that you're talking about. But what you do like, 7, just like Mississippi State, Arkansas falls back to 8-7.
We mentioned earlier that Joe Lunardi coming into tonight had Kentucky as a 6 seed, Arkansas as a 9. SEC is #1, first among all conferences when it comes to having 6 RPI top 25 teams.
I'm not sure what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was looking at there.
There hasn't been much to complain about with him in this second half. He has 16 points, 5-11 shooting, 2 threes. And the bench has been phenomenal for Big Blue.
Tess, they are plus 30 off the bench tonight. Plus 30. I mean, the numbers just speak for themselves. Quade Green, Jared Vanderbilt, P.J. Washington, the efficiency in which they've played with. And then a great keynote for as far as how comfortable Kentucky's been in the second half. They've assisted on 9 of their 10 made field goals. First half, at times, it was isolation basketball, and it was trying to do too much. The second half, it hasn't been about that. It's been about the team. It's been about making the extra pass, finding your teammate open on the back line of the defense, getting good quality looks.
Remember how Barford started this game compared to what we just saw there. It was Barford and Macon giving them that 11-zip lead early on with 3 3-pointers, and then Kentucky settled down, chipped away, and then really pulled away consistently for most of the second half to feed that time to P.J. Washington. He has 13 tonight.
Now 16 assists on 30 made field goals for Kentucky. A very impressive performance by the Wildcats. They've got Missouri in Lexington coming up on Saturday.
Missouri will be in Lexington for a game on ESPN at 8:15. Arkansas with a tough trip down to Alabama. That game on the SEC network. And life in the SEC, this is what it looks like now, folks. Hottest team was Arkansas. Kentucky had lost 4 straight. They got the bounce back win Saturday against Alabama, and then this very impressive win here on the road tonight in a place where Mike Anderson's team has been so good.
The question is now for Kentucky, and Cal was saying this the whole time during the losing streak. He says, look, SEC is tough this year. You go through these losing streaks. You just got to win one. Well, they won one, and if this is how they're going to play the rest of the season, I think they're going to be smiling in Lexington.